Welcome to this video. My name is Charlie, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you why you keep experiencing the patterns in your life that you don't prefer. You want to ask yourself the question, why do I keep experiencing a reality that I don't prefer? And I'm going to explain to you in this video exactly why this is. And this is linked to manifestation, but it's a deeper understanding of how manifestation really works. And it comes down to the idea of self-concept, who you believe you are on a deep level, your own identity. And when it comes to this process, a lot of people think that they need to use affirmations. They need to affirm things. I am worthy. I am good enough. Rather, it's about learning how to let go of these deeper beliefs that we are holding on to. Because when it comes to manifesting and creating anything that you want in your life, you need to understand that your heart and your mind need to be in unison. They need to be working together in order to manifest what you want. And this is talked about in the book Reality Transurfing, written by a quantum physicist known as Nadim Zealand. And the reason why we need this to work is because your heart is that compass. Your heart is the one that desires things. I want that romantic relationship. I want more money. I want to leave that 9-to-5 job and start my own business. Whatever it is that your heart truly desires, you are actually meant to have it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be experiencing the desire in the first place. You are meant to have what your heart truly desires. But if your brain, if your mind isn't in agreement with your heart, you can't actually shift into a different reality, into a different timeline. And this is what keeps you repeating the same patterns again and again. Because if we are holding on to deeper beliefs in our unconscious mind, because what do beliefs do? Beliefs generate how you feel, how you think, and how you behave. And when it comes to manifesting, is people often think of techniques of how can I bring or attract something into my life. But really what we need to do is we need to learn how to remove the blocks, because yes, you can manifest something, but you actually won't be able to sustain and keep it unless you learn how to remove these blocks. And I know this from my own experience. I've been in situations where I have tried to manifest certain things, where I've gone traveling, met an amazing community of people, had these amazing new relationships, and I have lost it all and gone back to my old way of living because I didn't know that I was holding on to deeper unconscious beliefs. And these deeper unconscious beliefs are essentially running the show because they generate how you feel, how you think, and how you behave. You might consciously want something, but you can very easily, unconsciously sabotage it. And so what we want to do is we want to learn how to identify and find where these beliefs come from. And most of them will come from our younger years during that of childhood. So, I'll give you some example. Let's say your heart desires a romantic relationship, okay? But you're holding on to a deeper unconscious belief that you are unlovable. Okay, that's going to create friction. You feel a pull to go and meet someone, or you have someone in mind, but then you feel that resistance. Okay, you might even get into a relationship with someone and then end up sabotaging it or pushing that person away because you're holding on to the unconscious belief that you are unlovable. And you're going to keep repeating that pattern in every single relationship until you learn how to identify that belief and learn to let it go. Let's say, for example, your heart desires to leave a 9-to-5 job. You don't want to be in the 9-to-5 job anymore, and you've got a passion project, something that you really want to do. But you are holding on to a deeper belief that you are unsupported, that the universe is not going to support you. Okay? And because of that, even if you leave the 9-to-5 job and you pursue your passion and you go for what you want, you will be shown that you are not supported and the business won't actually work out in your favor. Not because it's not meant for you, but because you're holding on to this deeper unconscious belief and you end up going back to the 9-to-5 job you don't want to be in, and you think that's just your fate. It's not. It's because you're holding on to these unconscious beliefs, and most of these unconscious beliefs will have been developed during childhood. So for example, when you were a kid, let's say, and your parents might not even be aware that they're doing this, but they might have neglected you emotionally. And this starts to create the unconscious belief that you are unlovable. And this is wired into your nervous system. Your body will not forget this. You might consciously forget about it, but your body will not forget about it. And if that is wired, if that is kept into your nervous system, it's just going to keep repeating the same reality just in different ways. And you'll say, why does this keep happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? So the work with this is actually learning how to identify these negative beliefs that we're holding on to, because reality is just like a mirror, okay? If you're standing in front of a mirror and you want to change the reflection, you don't try and change the mirror, do you? You change yourself and the reflection changes. You change your hair and then the mirror reflects this back to you. You need to go along and you need to do this deeper work and change your internal state at the level of your own identity, your own self-concept, and then that will start to change the mirror of reality. Reality has no choice but to reflect this back to you. It's not like, oh, it's going to give it to you because you deserve it. It just gives it as a reflection. So if you can do this deeper work and actually shift those deeper beliefs, your reality will shift and these patterns will start to disappear. So the key is to learn how to identify these negative beliefs. But the way that these negative beliefs work, the way that they function, they're not evil, but it's just the way that they function. They have to constantly perpetuate themselves. They have to constantly make you or convince you to keep choosing into the negative belief. I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable. And it's wired into your nervous system. So when you go through the process of actually letting the belief go, is the more fear you feel, the closer you are to letting go of that negative belief, because it's wired into your survival mechanism. It's trying to convince you to keep holding on to the negative belief. So you're actually going to feel more fear when you're about to let it go. But what most people do is when the fear arises, is they buy into the thoughts and they convince themselves that that is true. And so they keep buying into the belief, hence why the reality keeps repeating itself. So what we want to do is we need to learn how to identify when that belief arises and focus on letting that go. This is how we stop repeating the patterns in our reality that we don't prefer. So I hope this information was helpful to you. I will put a couple of links below this video. I've got a free ebook that talks all about this stuff. And I've also just started a school community which goes into detail about all of this stuff. If that interests you as well, I'll put it in the description below. But thank you for watching. Peace. Take care.